Okay, I changed the exposures on the camera, so now you can see the displays a little bit better. Right, a little bit darker, but overall you can see what's going on there. You can see the actual on the right, air-fuel ratio versus the left. Right? So now I'm going to show you the other two screens again, just so you can see it with full colors. Okay, so let's go back here for a second. Throttle positioning, timing advance, and oxygen sensor correction. Over here was pulse width, right, duty cycle of the fuel injector. See 20% show up there. The fuel pump is running at 100%. Air-fuel ratio is represented here. Fuel pressure is here. You can watch it go up as needed. And coolant temp and battery. And this was the main screen we were looking at before. You can see again air-fuel ratio, the correction to make it right, fuel pressure, battery, air temp, coolant. Now we can do this one, and this gives us everything. So up here is our air-fuel ratio. You can see it changing, right? If we go lower than 14.7, it's rich. It cuts off the fuel and you'll see it go lean, because now it's taking fuel away, and then it settles back where it belongs. The coolant temp is now 184 degrees. The fuel pressure, right, 38. We give it throttle, vacuum goes to it. We go over 40 there. Cooling fan just turned on. Our battery 14.2. You can see our targeted air-fuel ratio is 14.6. Next to it is the correction to try to keep it there, so it's taking fuel away to give us the 14.6. Air temp is 60 degrees. The map sensor, right, is showing the vacuum that's in the motor. And you can see that change. Vacuum goes down, it goes in one direction. And vacuum builds, it goes in another. Fuel pump, fuel injector duty cycle. Base timing. This car is set at 20 degrees. It doesn't really change. That is, I give this car permission to move the timing around to stabilize the idle, because it's got a lopey cam, so you can see as it's moving it. It's retarding it, it's advancing it, it's retarding it, it's advancing it, and that's helped make this thing idle a little better. There's our idle air control motor. Okay, you can see it's at 17. That's the motor that's regulating the idle speed. So if I turn the headlights on, you'll see that number go up. Right? If I turn the rear window defogger on, maybe the air conditioning, you see it really open up there, and then it wants to bring the idle down, so now it closes the pintle back down, blocks the flow. All right, below that is load. As I put more load on the car, you can see it register it. There's the flow of pounds per hour on the fuel injectors. You can see that go up as we demand it. Vacuum advance is 0 because we don't have one. Idle speed. Throttle positioning sensor. Right. TPS volts at idle is 1 volt. And there's our total ignition timing. Right, so this pretty much gives me everything that could be here. If I go back here, then I can go in and I can change stuff. So just to give you an idea, I could change the engine parameters. I can change the fuel system, whether it's returnless or not. I could change the fuel injector size, which I've done 3 times, putting bigger ones in. Crankshaft positioning input. Ignition timing is there. Calibrating the idle air control motor. Throttle position sensor calibration. Fan control, I can adjust when the fan turns on. I can change my air fuel ratio targets. Fuel enrichment is when we need more fuel. So we need more fuel with throttle, we need more fuel when it's cold, and all of those things can be adjusted there. And naturally update nitrous, which I don't have, and vacuum and idle timing and that kind of stuff. All right, so it's a pretty cool system. It works very well. It took a lot of studying and learning what to do for that. Right, and you can just see what I got in this thing. Right, 29-year-old car. Right, and I just wanted to give you a little treat of what these numbers mean and show you on this. Right, so next week we're going to have the final exam. I'm going to post it on Canvas. You'll know what's going on, and I'll give you a study guide and whatnot. But I thought this would give you something that you'd like to see.